All right, then we've got to move on though. As much as I'd like to sit and have a Hall of Fame party and stuff, we got a lot of wrestling to get to, so we're gonna go run through it really quick. Just give some quick thoughts on a lot of the things that happened in the past week. We're going to do some retro stuff too. We've been on 1996, so I'll get to that once we get there because I got some things to say about what we're doing there as well. All right, so let me go back to the top of our blog post. Sorry about that. Skip to the end. That was announcement number 2. All right, so modern AEW. Let's get started. So Dynamite, Ring of Honor, and Collision. We didn't cover any of that because we haven't done a show since then. But at this point, all those shows are already dated because AEW Dynasty just happened. So we're going to just jump straight to AEW Dynasty. If you want our thoughts on Dynamite, Ring of Honor, or Collision, and any of the build-up to Dynasty, you can click on the links in the description. I'm just going to skip that on this show. Vlad and Robert do feature on the Dynamite review. And I did the Ring of Honor and Collision stuff by myself. I just wanted to see if there was anything that we needed to know about before we went into Dynasty, and there really wasn't. So, okay, I could have just skipped them and saved my time and went to sleep. But instead, I stayed up all night doing that last night. AEW Dynasty. Okay, so I introduced Vlad. He's in the Hall of Fame. He's the Hall of Famer, Vlad. And Robert, my other wrestling analyst here, is I haven't really talked to or introduced yet, but he's the only one out of the three of us who watched AEW Dynasty in full, I guess, because you were off today. I worked. Vlad just didn't care to because
Correct.
AEW...
I was trying to watch The White Lotus, guys. That's way more important. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But continue on.
Hey, funny that you have AEW Sucks in your background, by the way, for the audio podcast listeners, because I did prepare a clip from one of your analyzations, I guess you could say, from a couple of years ago, talking about AEW, talking crap, and I didn't play it. I think I'm going to save time. I want to save the time today because we might be running late with all the things we have to get through. But yeah, so you had no interest to watch this pay-per-view, and no. Robert, you did. So before I jump into it, you want to just say, did you enjoy it? Did you think it was a waste of time, or are you tired? Was it enjoyable? What's your general thoughts on it?
It was a little too long.
Yeah, that seems to be a
four and a half hours. I don't know about that. Most of the matches were okay, but the last two, especially the Kenny Omega Speedball Mike Bailey Ricochet match, that was my favorite out of the whole card. And funny thing is, I wasn't even interested. I wasn't necessarily interested in that match at all, but it was a great match regardless. So that's the one I liked the most. And the last match of the card, the main event was okay. It was pretty good too. A lot happened in that, which I guess we're about to get to right now.
Yeah, I'm going to rely on you for that because the show just ended right now. If people are listening to this in the morning or something, we are recording this on a Sunday night, so the show just ended. I didn't get to it. I read about a lot of it, except the end of it. And Vlad, I guess, is just going to comment based on the booking and what he thinks as we describe it to him, and Robert will give his full-on review. So, all right, let's jump through all this. Here is our review of AEW Dynasty. I'll probably get to watching the whole thing at some point later in the week. But 0-hour storylines we'll skip over, and storyline number 1, men's Owen Hart Cup stuff. So I guess there was 2 matches in this. So Ospreay advanced. He beat Kevin Knight, and Kyle Fletcher advanced. He beat Mark Briscoe. So I don't know. Is this something that merits a lot of comments for this, Robert? Or,
no, they were just solid matches. That's it. Nothing more than that.
Okay. All right, so we got 2 advancements there. And then MJF helps the Hurt Syndicate retain. So I guess there was a tag team match, Hurt Syndicate against the Learning Tree, who I think have been actually presenting themselves pretty decently for this feud at least. And then MJF apparently came in and helped them, right, Robert? Did he?
Yeah, towards the end, yeah.
Did Hurt Syndicate really need help from MJF to win this match? Or
I don't think so.
From what I read, they were mad that he helped. That they were annoyed at him.
They obviously they're not fans of MJF clearly, but MJF still helped them regardless. I think they would have won even without MJF's involvement.
All right, so what's that looking like though in terms of MJF joining the Hurt Syndicate? Because I guess he helped them out and they took the help. They were a little annoyed, but hey, look, he could just kind of just jump in there and join the group. I guess they're not really going to object too much.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's heading towards he will eventually join them. I don't know, but just based on the way that it's booked, it looks like that's the direction they're going towards.
Vlad, what do you think of that?
Not sure. Again, I'm still so unsure about this. I mean, I'm happy he's working with the Hurt Syndicate. I like that in theory. I just don't know where it all goes. Or
Kind of weird that he would jump in there and help them against the Learning Tree. Like he doesn't have faith in them to beat Brian Keith and beat Big Bill. I mean, Big Bill has been pretty beast though lately. I mean, he's carrying this group. You got to say. Big Bill is like he looks taller than everybody too, so he looks pretty badass.
Oh yeah, he is taller than
he is taller than everyone. But I don't know. I mean, I want to say that it's going to end up going well, but I just have some doubts, despite the fact that I like MJF working with this group. But we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out.
All right, then let's move on to the next one. Let's see, Women's Owen Cup. Owen Hart Cup. So Mercedes, I guess they only had one match, and Mercedes beat Julia Hart. Is apparently what happened. They had a match, Mercedes versus Julia, and Athena was watching from the back, so she didn't have a match today. She was on the pre-show. She had an interview on the pre-show. Okay, do you want to just give a thumbs up, thumbs down for this match?
I'll give this a thumbs up. The only comment I'll make is specifically about Julia Hart. I think in the past I've criticized her work, but I think she got better and she's projecting more confidence in the ring. So she's definitely improved since I don't know. It was the last time I seen her on a pay-per-view, but she's improved a lot over the past couple of years, in my opinion. So that's all I'll say about that.
All right. Next one is okay. So this was a betrayal, I guess you could call it. Rated FTR lost to Death Riders. There wasn't really any cheating either. It's not like Death Riders had to bring Marina and Mox to win. There was some kind of miscommunication, I guess. Rated FTR didn't work well together, and then they took the loss. And then at the end, Dax turned on Cope, and then Cash joined in was what happened. Cash was apprehensive, but then he just did it anyways. He joined in. All right, then. Thoughts about this? This was not a storyline that we really covered much on our show. It kept getting skipped over. It didn't really catch on as one of the top storylines for us to really take the time to actually do it on this show. We reviewed it on our blogs and stuff. But, okay, so Death Riders retain, so they're still the Trios champions. And then Rated FTR failed. And then I guess we were all wondering, was this going to turn into a breakup of FTR or a betrayal of Cope? It had to be one or the other, basically. And I think everyone kind of knew it was headed in this direction, like a heel turn for FTR. I think it's a good idea. I think it's an excellent idea because they've been stale as fuck. So let's see if they actually do something with them as heels. I don't think any of you object to them turning heel on like this. Do you?
No.
All right, cool. Robert, so I guess the rating for this whole thing, since you're the only one who watched it.
Maybe I'll give this a 1. It was a little bit of a surprise. I thought I thought this was headed towards Dax versus Cash feud, just between the two of them.
Really?
I didn't think they would. No, I didn't think that they would both turn on Cope. So
I would have been surprised if that happened, honestly. But
okay.
Okay, hold on one second. Oh shoot, are we on the right date? Yes. Okay, I'm sorry. I was looking at the title of our show today, March 31 through April 6th. Okay, that looks good. Sorry about that, guys. Moving along. Tony Storm rolls up Megan Bayne, as it would seem. So, any thoughts about this match?
Megan Bayne dominated the majority of this match, and Tony Storm won, but it looked kind of like a fluke victory because it was it was a roll up. She looked like she was about to lose, and she got a lucky roll. So I don't think this is gonna this is the end of the feud. I think this will continue just based on how that ended.
Okay, interesting.
Mhm.
Do you see Megan
Yeah.
Bayne like becoming champion, the world champion?
She can be. She definitely has the look for it.
Oh,
But I don't know. I don't think I've ever heard a promo from her. I don't know unless she does some in Collision. I don't.
yeah, I think there was one on Collision a couple of weeks ago where they had a video
Okay.
package with her talking. But yeah, that is true.
All right, so I
It
didn't
would be
watch
weird
that.
to make her. I mean, they've had champions in the past who haven't talked before, right, Vlad? Goldberg.
I mean,
You know,
yeah, there have been champions in the past that are not the best on the mic. I think she just doesn't have any experience in the mic. I think, as far as I don't know a lot about her history. There's been some conflicting reports about where she started, when she started, how long she's been in wrestling. I don't really know, but she has a great look. She's definitely going to be a world champion in that company at some point. They've been pushing her through the roof, having beat everybody, and I guess they try to protect her here. I didn't see the match, obviously, but I'm guessing they try to protect her so make it seem like Tony won on a fluke. She rolled her up. I'm not really a big fan of the roll-up victories, to be honest. I think it's kind of cheap, but it happens from time to time. And so, all right, let's see where it goes.
all right, moving along. We gotta get through this pay-per-view. Here's our favorite, the Learning Tree, Chris Jericho
Yeah.
against Bandito. So I guess he
boy.
cheated. He used a baseball bat, and then the refs restarted the match because there was a lot on the line, right? The guy's masks, for fuck's sake. So when it's something like that, they gotta have some justice here, right? So Bandito wins the Ring of Honor world title. That's interesting. That's interesting for me as a guy who reviews Ring of Honor. At least we'll have a guy on the show that might show up. But all right, any thoughts on what happened here with this little
Okay.
angle?
Yeah, I'm gonna give this a -1,
Interesting.
one thumb down.
Thumbs
Okay,
down,
let me
thumbs
tell you what really happened. Yes, Chris Jericho cheated, but what happened was that Bandito's mother and I think sister was in the audience in the front row, and the mother was begging. What's her name? What's the female ref
Aubrey
name?
Edwards.
Aubrey Edwards. She begged her to check, where because she saw, obviously everybody saw that Jericho was using a bat and he was hiding it on the steel steps. So she told Audrey about that Jericho used the bat and he hit it on the steel steps, and so Aubrey Edwards allowed her to walk her to where the bat was hidden, and she found it and then made the decision to restart the match. But I don't know. I thought that was really dumb booking because people cheat to win all the time, and just because the ref didn't initially catch it, and there's no like video replay or whatever, that doesn't mean they all of a sudden restart the match just because someone from the audience said, "Hey, look, he used a bat and it's hidden right there." I thought that was really dumb booking personally, so I hated it.
No, dude, it's the guy's mask is on the line. You gotta
Oh
get
my
it
God! Okay.
right, bro.
Oh, sure.
You
That makes
gotta get
everything
it right.
okay. Got it.
You gotta get when it's something like this. It's important. Like if it was someone's life on the line, you gotta get it right. If it's a world title belt, then who cares? But okay, Vlad, I don't think you have any comments on this, so I'm gonna move on.
No, we'll move on.
That is interesting though. I've never heard anything like that happen, where the mother like takes the referee to where they hid the weapon. Like this, that's like I'm gonna watch this later. But okay.
No, maybe not exactly that, but I've heard of like scenarios where the referee saw that the guy was cheating and they restarted the match or something like that. That has been done before plenty of times, but maybe not specifically the guy's mother. Okay, but all right.
All right, and then the TNT title match. This is something we absolutely talked nothing about on our show here on the Sunday Night Podcast. I review all this stuff like from Collision and stuff on my blog by myself. But yeah, I mean, it was kind of weird that they set this matchup and they had to like really like emphasize that they said no outside interference of all matches to emphasize that for. Like, has this feud had a lot of outside interference? I don't know. I haven't really felt that way. Yeah, their stables are not really heel stables. And then so that's one thing. And then another thing is no time limit. Okay. I mean, they went from 20-minute time limit to no time limit. So, okay. So Adam Cole wins, and it's his first title. Not his first title, because he was Ring of Honor tag team titles with MJF, but I guess it's his first AEW title. So
first singles title?
First singles title and first AEW title. So Adam Cole, the new AEW or TNT champion, back from injury, put on a decent enough match. Any thoughts on this, Robert? Was it a good? You want to give it a rating?
And the winner is Adam Cole, baby. All right, look, I didn't know any of that build-up that you mentioned, because did they set this up in Collision, or I'm not sure, because I don't remember.
Mostly.
Okay, so that's why I didn't know about any of that. So it was just a match to me. I didn't know the stipulations, but it was solid. I wasn't quite sure who was gonna go over in this match, but I still enjoyed it for what it was. I'll give this. I don't know. I mean, it could have been better though. I'll give it a half thumbs up.
All right, cool. I'll give it some credit. Interesting. I mean, I do think it was maybe time for a TNT title change, because Daniel Garcia, as much as I liked him, since he hasn't been doing the dance, it just hasn't been the same. But next one, international title is, well, that's true, man. Ever since the dance was over, it was kind of like the Acclaimed with the rapping. That shit was over. If you're not gonna do what you were overdoing, then...
I'm just gonna say this: that there's no scenario where Daniel Garcia is over. Okay, or at all. No scenario. He is what he is. He's like, you could find on the independent scene 1,000 Danny Garcias. There's 1,000 of them, literally.
All right. Well, come on. Daniel Garcia is a hard worker. Give it up a little bit, bro. That was a good TNT title reign, man. He made it.
What?
He made it.
What title reign? Who cares? You don't remember anything from it. What are you talking about? I don't remember.
He had a few title defenses. He was.
My God, bro. Let me tell you, the WWE dodged a bullet when Tony Khan overpaid for this guy. They dodged a complete bullet. This guy is not going anywhere.
Oh my God. Well, there you go. Another hot take from the Hall of Famer, Vlad, the wrestling expert. Okay, international title match. The next one, Kenny Omega versus Mike Bailey, who I'm a big fan of from TNA. I saw him have a couple good matches last year. Well, his one against Moose and his one against Leon Slater in particular. But Robert, so you said this was your favorite match of the night. How high up you want to rate it?
Easily the best match of the card for me.
You loved it, or you really liked it?
I'll say I loved it. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And again, I think I mentioned this to you before the show started. I wasn't even really looking forward to this match. I mean, I knew it was on the card, but it wasn't something I was excited over. I didn't even know who Mike Bailey was until a couple weeks ago when he showed up in Dynamite. Like, that was literally the first time I've seen him. So, yeah, I mean, I expected a decent match, but this ended up being pretty good. And then there was the post-match face-off between Omega and Okada. Clearly, they're building up to a potential all-in matchup.
Yeah, I heard rumors from some reason from certain podcast insiders, quote unquote, that they want to combine those two titles, the International Continental Champion. So they might.
Who really knows the difference? Except, come on, I'm not. Yes, combine them. Do whatever you want. Yeah, exactly.
For the audience who doesn't know, we have the picture of the current Continental Champion in the corner here at all times, because I believe it's the purest championship in wrestling with no interference. And I hope if they combine it, that the next International Continental Championship would also have the no interference rule, because that's the best rule in wrestling to me.
I want to make one quick comment real quick, just before I forget. I don't know how the kicks from Mike Bailey. I don't know how they don't hurt in real life. Those kicks look like they should hurt you.
Yeah, I'm sure Omega and Ricochet are willing to take a couple of for real kicks to make it look good. Strong style they call it. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, last match of the night. We're running through AEW Dynasty. It just happened. Robert just saw it. He is the world title match. So I don't know anything about this because we had to start this podcast. We got to do it at 9:30. So I had to prepare and start this up. All I know is that Moxley retained, and I don't know anything about how it happened. So, Robert, if you want to describe it to us and tell us what you thought of it and how you liked it, the floor is all yours. Go ahead. Story time with Robert, baby.
Who's ready for story time with Rubber Toe, baby? All right. So a lot happened in this match, but I'll just talk about what happened at the very end. So at some point, Moxley had a steel chair and wanted to throw it at Swerve. Swerve ducked and the steel chair hit the referee.
Oh, right? So that's a good ref bump.
Yeah, and then obviously the ref was knocked out. I forgot what happened right after that, but at some point, Hangman Adam Page came out.
No.
And then it looked like he was gonna do the buckshot lariat on Swerve, but then he hesitated. He didn't actually do it, right? Because if you remember, on
Dynamite, yes,
they had that interaction towards the end of that episode. Yeah. Or Swerve admitted that he deserved, what happened to him. So I guess I don't know. He thought of that, and it made him hesitate. So he didn't do the buckshot lariat, and then he got attacked by Hangman. Got attacked by Pac and the rest of the Death Riders after that. So when the Death Riders jumped Hangman, Samoa Joe and his crew, I don't remember what's his crew's name. The Ops. Okay.
What?
The Ops came out and helped. The Ops came out and helped.
Sounds ridiculous.
Hangman fight off the Death Riders.
Okay.
And then finally, the focus went back to Swerve versus Moxley. And then it looked like Swerve was getting the upper hand and it was about to win the match. But then the lights went out and everybody's like, oh no, what's going to happen? And then after a few seconds, the lights came back on and the Young Bucks are back. And then they did the I don't know that move that they do, the BT trigger. They did that on Swerve. Yeah, they did that.
What? They helped Moxley win?
And then miraculously, the ref came back into consciousness, and Moxley got the pinfall and won. So the Bucks, after a half a year of being away, came back, and I guess they're still heels. I don't know why they're helping Moxley out, but I guess we'll find out in Dynamite.
Yeah, all that considered, what's your rating on this whole storyline tonight? Then
it was still cool. I still liked it. I'll give it a 1.
You'll give it a thumbs up just because it was so wild and shocking, I guess. Mm-hmm. Well, okay, Vlad, what do you think of the Young Bucks coming back and helping the Death Riders?
Can these guys come back again in another 6 months? Or can they go away and come back in another 6 months? This is what they come back to do? To keep the worst angle possibly in AEW history going? This is what they've come back to do. And somebody can say, they're here to make it better because now they're going to join Moxley, I guess. What the fuck? Nobody wants to see these guys, and nobody wants to see Moxley. No, I would give it a vomit if I was watching it, probably. If I watched it, I would give it a vomit.
Oh, minus 5 points. Huh?
Wait, what's the lowest? What's the lowest?
The lowest is Chris Jericho, yeah.
I would give it Jericho level bad, yeah, there we go.
You give it a minus 10.
I mean, if I saw it, but since I can't actually say it because I didn't see it, but from everything Robert described and everything I feel about all of these people, that's what I probably would have given it.
Oh my god! I think
Okay.
I'd give that all 2 thumbs down. I'm gonna watch it again and submit my rating a little later in the week before Dynamite for sure. But I'm gonna watch it just to say that I watched it. But God, I mean, just the general premise of the Young Bucks. I'm stunned that Robert's telling me this. I didn't read about this at all. I cannot believe it because the Young Bucks left because they said things were getting too hot in AEW for them because the Death Riders were running roughshod, which they really weren't even. Like, they weren't running over the show like that. So it was kind of stupid that they left like that. And then now they're back and they're going to help the Death Riders. So what the fuck? It just doesn't make it doesn't make good logical sense. All right, fine. That's it. That's the AEW talk for the day. We usually don't talk about AEW that much. But since we had a pay-per-view that just happened, fine. We did a review on it, and we'll put it out